normally when we have this guy on the show, our guest, Fat Jack at FatJackSports.com, normally we're playing something dealing with money, but I like to switch up because, well, let's be real. Tomorrow, week 0, college football. You have K-State and Iowa State officially kicking off the college football season, and the guy who's probably happiest about college football returning because he's set to make a bunch of money joins us on the show right now. Fat Jack of FatJackSports.com. Fat Jack, welcome back. Have you ever been to Ireland?
Let's see. I've not been to Ireland. I've been to Scotland a couple of times in the British Open there. I've been to London probably 30 times, but I have not been to Ireland. I don't drink. So that's my first problem, because I think in Ireland you need to drink. So I'm going to take up alcohol, which I may. I mean, never say never. But yeah, I've never been to Ireland. I've heard it's beautiful, and what a better time. There's no better time to go. I mean, you guys are over there. It's going to be a big game coming up, and yeah, it's certainly not a normal week. Not only not FatJackSports.com, but for you guys. So congratulations on getting over there. Have you enjoyed it so far?
It's been fun. The aspect of not being a drinker. Yeah, if you're not a drinker, you're probably not going to like Dublin, Ireland, because mercy, I've been everywhere. It's amazing walking around. Like yesterday, we had to go somewhere, and as I'm walking, it's about probably 4:30 Irish time. And the pubs, every pub I walked by, they were slammed. Everyone was having Guinness. Like, it was absolutely insane. I can tell you one thing, Fat Jack, there are a lot of fans who are going to be here tomorrow for the game for K-State and Iowa State. They are expecting a sellout, which will be 40,000 plus here in Ireland, which is crazy.
So there's been a lot of talk about, the repercussions if K-State doesn't win, giving up a home game. And the fan participation, we've had these games in the past where you had Notre Dame and Navy. You predominantly had Notre Dame fans going, not a lot of Naval people, obviously. But the reality is, if you ask any player or any fan that has gone to these games, every one of them to a man say it was a very cool experience, really a lot of fun, once-in-a-lifetime deal. So I think it's one of those things that fans leading up to, especially you're sitting around in Wichita right now, not in Ireland, you're like, why are they doing this? I mean, if they go and lose this game, give up one of their home games in the Big 12, there are going to be some people that are like, what are they doing? I mean, why are they going over and doing this? But besides the money, but the reality is nobody there is going to say this wasn't a great time. So I'm excited for the fans that went. It gives you an excuse to go over there. I talked to Nebraska people when they went a couple of years ago and lost to Northwestern. And similar situation, going before, didn't know what to expect. It gave them a reason. And, of course, I go to those London games for the NFL and do a lot of stuff over there for that. And it's the same type of deal. You get these fan bases that have never been that part of the world before, go and have a great time. The people are awesome. As you said, if you're a drinker, then, yeah, you're in the right place. So making money, though, Pat, we've got to understand this is week 0, a lot of turnover on these rosters. And if you're going to jump in with both feet, you've got to be careful. This is not college football from 10 years ago. It's the days of being a freshman on the freshman team and moving up and getting behind a senior and then getting your shot as a junior and loving the program and the culture. Those days are over, or at least on hold. It's more about NIL. It's more about transfer portal. It's more about how quickly can we mesh new players. All of those things have to be factored in. They're a lot more difficult to predict than, say, 10 years ago when you didn't have to do that. So a word of caution to guys out there in Kansas that are going to plan on jumping in with both feet as we hit week 0 of the college season.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because this is something that I was telling everyone beforehand. These picks that we're going to do, they are opinion picks. Doesn't mean that this is the official Fat Jack selection at FatJackSports.com, so keep that in mind. But we do have you on. We do talk about the local games. I don't know if I'm going to ask you about the Chiefs or not, but we'll see. Just give me time. We'll see if I'm going to ask you about the Chiefs preseason game against the Bears. But you have K-State, Iowa State officially kicking off the regular season tomorrow. Dylan Brett filling in for Jack Johnson. So, Dylan, what's going to happen is I'm going to make a pick, you're going to make a pick, and then Fat Jack's going to tell us if we're stupid or not, which he tends to call us stupid all the time. But, hey, K-State and Iowa State, the line is set at 3 in favor of the Wildcats. This has to be the toughest game to predict probably all season in college football because of it being week 0. because of the game taking place overseas in Ireland, players having to adjust with all of that. You have two teams. You have Kansas State that does have a good amount of players back, but we're still wondering if the offensive line is going to be ready to rock and roll. You don't have DJ Giddens out there, so that's going to be a little bit different. Meanwhile, for Iowa State, do the Cyclones have enough firepower to maybe keep up with K-State? But here's the one thing I can tell you about these two teams. They are physical football teams. They will make you play sound football. And if that's going to be the case, then this could be, and I don't know what the point total is looking like, but it could be a 17-14 type of ball game. It could be that type of game coming up tomorrow here in Ireland. But it is Farmageddon. There tends to be something weird that happens. I'm going to go, if you had to put a gun to my head and say you have to choose, I'm going to ride with Kansas State. I think the Wildcats with Avery Johnson have been hearing a lot about how he's taking a step forward. I look over on the defensive side of the ball for K-State. There's a lot to like there. I think Rocco Beck, I'm still just curious to see what their offense is going to be like and if they're going to have that firepower. So I'm going to take K-State with the -3 coming up tomorrow here in Ireland. Dylan, let's get your take first, and then I'm going to welcome back in Fat Check. And Dylan, if you're talking, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, so not much of a gambler, but I'm liking K-State and the over. I think they're going to get up to a lead, and Iowa State might have some trouble at the beginning of the game because they lost their two big wide receivers from last year. But by the end of the game, they get a little momentum, and they bring it back to close, which will make the over hit.
All right. Well, Fat Jack, you couldn't give me enough money to bet on this game tomorrow. I'm just telling you right now, you couldn't give me enough money because, honestly, I don't have really that good of a vibe. But, hey, like I said about K-State, Avery Johnson's back. He's got a defense that's supposed to be top tier in the Big 12 this year. But I know you're the one with the cold, hard facts. So let's hear them with this game coming up tomorrow.
First, I only call you stupid when you say stupid things, not all the time. I mean, some of the time, you and Jack jump on the right side. You're dialed in. It's normally when the Chiefs should be the right side or when Kansas or Kansas State should be the right side. That's when you dial. I don't ever call you stupid then. Only when you just flippantly throw out the home team because they're closest to you and they're closest to your listeners. I mean, that's the only time I do it. Listen, you could make a case for either team or neither team. Kansas State, 27 transfers left through the portal. They got 14 new guys in. That's not graduates. That's not incoming freshmen. Those are guys that were on campus at K-State and said, you know what, no thanks. The grass is greener over here. I'm out. Iowa State, similar. 17 outgoing, 8 coming in. This is going to be across college football. Admit that up front, that if you're betting on this game, most of the time you're going to be betting on one or two marquee names and or the coaching staff and the climate. That's it, because you don't know what's going to happen. We can look at last year. Iowa State won 29-21 in the game. Kansas State averaged over 6 yards per carry in the rushing game. They ran it almost at will. Iowa State led the nation in pass defense, and so they were very good in the secondary. Does that translate over to a game where you're eating corned beef and cabbage as your pregame meal? Who knows? So it's a tough spot. You mentioned the total. It's 50 or 50.5. I do think there'll be more points than the market predicts because normally speaking, you get these overseas games, the general public will hammer the under based on the travel, based on the news of the players. But you'll figure out a few kinks here and there to get some points on the board, even if you're running it first. So a lean toward the over. I also am going to give it K-State, but it's literally flip a coin because you've got so many new parts of both these teams. I trust KSU's coaching staff a little more than I do Iowa State. That's why I'm leaning for the Wildcats.